by the time you're watching this, it will be the 10th of July, 2020, and hopefully the Barnes & Noble's Criterion sale is indeed happening then. It is, for me right now, the 9th, the day before. I decided to take you on a walk and show you 7 more of my favorite Criterion titles. Maybe inspire you to pick one of them up if you haven't seen it before. Please join me. So let me show you one of my absolute favorites. That is the film Ace in the Hole by Billy Wilder. Amazing, just amazing movie. If you don't know anything about it, I don't want to give too much away. There's sort of the back. I'll show you guys the special features. If you're interested, pause the video. Kirk Douglas plays a reporter, and he hears that there's been a mine cave-in, and he decides to profit off of it to help his career. Fantastic movie. Solid drama. Recommended highly. Next up is a personal favorite. One that you wouldn't think would be a fantastic film, maybe even a children's film, but it is not. Not quite. Jean Cocteau's Beauty and the Beast. Beautiful, beautiful movie. Probably my favorite. See if I can get out of the glare here. You can see a little bit of that cover. Probably my favorite Beauty and the Beast adaptation here. I'm going to let you take a look at that special features right there. Feel free to pause if you want to read the back a little bit. Spine number 6. Haha. Very early. One of the top 10s. Beauty and the Beast. Beautiful movie. Really imaginative. Jean Cocteau really makes it a dreamlike experience watching this film. It's not your... Well, I suppose it is the typical Beauty and the Beast story, but he turns it on its head in such an amazing way, almost like a Guillermo del Toro would. And maybe Guillermo del Toro was inspired by this film. I wouldn't doubt it. It is like a dream. Beautiful movie. Gorgeous black and white. Incidentally, I'm wearing pants today. FYI. Next film, the classic French action-adventure picture, The Wages of Fear, by Monsieur Henri Georges Clouzot. I do try my best with the pronunciations. I apologize if I butcher them. It's fun to try. Wages of Fear is a fantastic, edge-of-your-seat thriller. I'm going to pause here so you guys can take a look at the back. Special features and a little bit of the story. A little over 2 hours. 2 hours and 27 minutes. Fantastic, amazing movie about a group of men who are hired to take some highly combustible fluid, I forget the name of it at the moment, across a rugged landscape to help stop a fire. You may know the American remake a little better. Friedkin's Sorcerer with Roy Scheider, also an excellent film. But this is the precursor to that, and it is really a masterpiece of cinema. I'd say the first 45 minutes is fairly slow and takes its time establishing everything. But after that's over, my God, it is a rocket ride of tension. Highly recommend Wages of Fear. Next up is a very unique film, a Polish-French film, The Double Life of Veronique. Pause right here so you can take a look at that. A film by Krzysztof Kieślowski. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, maybe not. Starring the beautiful. Irene Jacob. Let me get you a better look at that. Here's the features on that. Feel free to pause. A little bit about the story. It's a complicated movie. But spine, let me check it out. Spine 359. I don't know if you can see that right there. Let me double check that. Yeah, 359. Krzysztof Kieślowski's The Double Life of Veronica is a hard movie to define. It's one of those movies that just kind of instinctually feels good. It feels right. It's perfect. It's beautiful. It's delicate. It's a gentle movie about two women that look alike and have the same name, but different lives, and how connection happens metaphysically, I guess. I don't know, it's hard to describe it. It's not a movie that makes sense on the surface, but it's one of those that you feel. Highly recommend. It's a really beautiful, delicate movie, Double Life of Veronica. Next up is something I would consider a American fable. This is the film Julian Blacktop by Monty Hellman. It's on the surface a film about race car drivers, hippie race car drivers. Let me show you the special features here. Feel free to pause and read. And if you'd like to know more about the movie, there you go. Spine 441, 2-lane blacktop. This is another film that's hard to describe because it's essentially about a race, cross country, but it isn't at the same time. It's a very slow, gentle movie as well. It takes its time to breathe, and it features a amazing performance by Warren Oates. He plays a character called GTO, and he drives a GTO. This movie also has, believe it or not, I don't know if you guys noticed it, Dennis Wilson from the Beach Boys and James Taylor. They drive the car on the cover right here. And they make their money racing cross country, sort of like gypsy version of Fast and the Furious, but with much less plot. Beautiful movie. And a really stunning ending. I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to say it's like a knockout ending or anything, but it's an ending that feels true to the spirit of the film. 2-lane blacktop, classic American car cinema right here. Next, we have a classic Japanese ghost story, Kuroko by Ganeto Shindo. Beautiful movie. Look at that cover. Well, almost the entire film takes place in this bamboo grove. It is astoundingly beautiful, hauntingly beautiful, which is apropos for the film here. Let me give you a little chance to look at the special features. Feel free to pause. You know the routine. A little bit about the story if you want to read that in more detail. Basically, a samurai's wife and mother are killed, and they are resurrected as cat demons that kill other samurai. And now he's conflicted because he's been tasked with killing the demons, but it turns out to be his mom and wife, so it's a little tricky for him. Fantastic hunting movie, beautiful locations, probably the most atmospheric movie ever made. Fog, bamboo groves, just breathtaking stuff. If you like classical ghost stories, you'll enjoy this film. If you love settings and rich, sumptuous black and white cinematography, hands down, Kuroko is a slam dunk. This reminds me of Kuroko, to be honest. This setting feels like the demon's lair. There was fog and some bamboo right here along the sides. Oh man, yeah. You and I would be walking through the setting of Kuroko. Very peaceful down here, though. under this scaffolding. We're taking a bit of a field trip, real quick, to the Leonardo Adobe. Why? Let's find out. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends and movie lovers, welcome to the Leonardo Adobe homestead. We're here for a very important reason. Not necessarily connected to Criterion, actually not at all connected to Criterion, but as a movie fan, I think you folks would get a kick out of this. The Leonardo Adobe now is a historical museum. It's an artifact. You can tour it and see how life was like back in the olden days. But before it was a museum, the Leonardo Adobe was the home of John Carradine. This was the Carradine family homestead. He shared the house with David and Keith. Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah, David and Keith and Robert. The entire Carradine family used to live right here. Before this was the Leonardo Adobe. Well, I should say it was always the Leonardo Adobe, historically. But before it became a museum, it was the home of one of Universal Studios' better loved Draculas. Perfect time now to bust out our last film, the collector's edition, I should say, of The Princess Bride. Look at that beautiful cover. I still have the wrapping on it. It's a collector's edition for me. Digibook right there. You guys can here a little closer. You can pause, read that at your leisure. The plot, not that you need it. Who hasn't seen The Princess Bride? I'm sure you have tons of versions of The Princess Bride. I do as well. I had to get this. I love the fairy tale look of it. The book has a texture. The Digibook is not plastic or paper like the Ace in the Hole one is. It is a 100% book type material. I wouldn't say a leather, but definitely a canvas. Beautiful edition. Every collector should own the Criterion edition of The Princess Bride. Doesn't rain often here, so whenever I see things like this, it makes me happy. I miss the rain. I do like to see it, even if it's artificial. That'll do for today, my friends. Thank you for coming on a walk with me and talking Criterion collection. I hope you partake in the July 2020 sale. If you do, please leave a comment. Let me know what you got. We have a lot to look forward to. A collector life. It ain't easy, but it sure is fun. Thanks for joining me.